Hey guys, we're back on 492s. Now, this was the cut where I did more work to the chamber. I had more work right in this area, all in here to about here. This has all been relieved a little bit. Okay, you can see our wet flow in the chamber is definitely different. This actually, to me, looks pretty good. We don't have that cutoff like we used to have, but if you take a look, we've got blue quite a bit around this now with the combination of this cut on the quench side and expanding this brought more fuel around to this side. And if you can see in the bowl, we're nice and wide there. And we got a little tiny bit back on this wall. Not much, just a little bit. If you look around the plug, we're still speckled around the plug. Overall, I don't think that's too bad. What I have been forgetting to show you guys is the cylinder. Okay, so this is the back of the chamber by the plug, right? You can see it's coming around and down. It's not nearly as deep as we usually get. Not 100% sure why. But then again, I don't know, and I'm sure somebody in here would have the answer. Is it better for us to have our fuel wash on the chamber or on the cylinder? I would think in the chamber. See, the small block Ford we did, the GT40, the chamber was almost clean of fuel, and it was a big wash on the bore. Now, of course, a Dicam isn't exactly the same representation as our air-fuel mixture is going to be. It just gives us an idea where everything is going. I would think the Dicam is quite a bit heavier than fuel and suspension. But take a look over here. This is new. This is from that cut on the quench side. Interesting stuff, right? We definitely got some more flow coming out of there, and we got some liquid coming out of that side. Now, is that necessarily bad? Do we need all of our flow to go like this, or is it okay to have a lot of flow this way and a little bit of flow in this direction? A little bit of history, late 80s, early 90s, when I was working with the swirl port heads on my Chevy 1-ton, they actually have a high helix intake port, which is designed to spin the air very, very hard. And the theory is you spin it really hard, you keep the fuel mixed because it was only throttle body injection, not great. So, and you spin the fuel really hard, and it also uses the periphery of the valve way better. In fact, it flows just as well on the short side as it does anywhere else because it's literally spinning and pressurizing it from around from the bowl down through the valve job. And it was always interesting when I pulled those cylinder heads off, you could see exactly where the swirl was hitting the plug. It was nice and white on one side and going past the plug, and it would be a little bit darker on the other side. You could really see, and you could see the burn pattern on the cylinder heads when you pulled them off. Okay, my blah, blah, blah flows. This is the last one you saw. This was taking a little bit more out of the chamber near the plug and around to the side of the intake valve, okay? We lost a little more low, lost a little more low, lost a little more low, lost a little more low. We came up from where we were, came up from where we were, came up from where we were, up from where we were, down a tenth. This one had a slight noise. Oh, the reason it had a noise is because we're no longer following that short side radius. She's starting to window right out, and that's why we drop 11 CFM here. So what that's telling me, and I need to do more work to the short side radius. I have to measure and see how much metal we have, but I may do a little work on that short side radius. I'd like to get this better right around here. And yeah, I probably will lose a little bit more in the meat of the curve. Okay, up a little bit, up a little bit. And as far as our swirl, see now this is about opposite of what I would expect it to do. Because if we're increasing the fuel, the air and the fuel here on this side, right, I would think it would swirl more. But that's not what it's telling me it's doing. Okay, we're down, we're up, down, 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 down. True, some of them are almost equal. You know, very, very, very close. But overall, this has got a better swirl curve than this one does, as in, i.e., less swirl on the lower lifts. So that's kind of interesting to think about. It's really doing the opposite of what I thought it would do. But when we go through the air speeds, I think you'll be able to figure it out. Okay, air speeds. 310, 311, almost identical. 311, 310, almost identical. 272 to 280, up a touch. 213 to 220, 200 even. All right, we lost some airspeed on the roof. That's the center of the cylinder, right? So that's the roof on this side. We lost some speed here. Coming around. Cylinder wall went up. Right, we're getting more flow on this side. That does make sense to me. Okay, short side radius. Center of the cylinder went up quite a bit. Okay, so we got more flow on this side, but our short side radius on this side sped up. I've seen that before. That's kind of interesting, right? And 406 to 407, almost identical. 394 to 396. So what that's telling me is my next job, see if I have any metal in this corner I could work on. I'd like to knock that airspeed down a touch. Okay? That's just me talking out loud. All right, guys. Keep up the great comments. And have a great night. Thanks.